All right. So looks like I'm live right now. I happen to have some time actually that kind of just came upon me. I actually just got home from work. And so because I don't have any friends, any life, I said, hey, why don't I hop on here and see and see if anybody can validate me. I mean, I'm only I'm just partially joking there. But we got some people tuning in already. But in all seriousness, this is a different time and so, I figured, hey, maybe there might be some people that are, unable to join, especially later, but also can't join at 9 in the morning. And then maybe we'll catch some of them and give some people a, opportunity that are trying to reach me, to, join in. And we clearly got people flooding in right now. I say this every time, but I fully expect this to be a short live. I actually mean it this time because I'm going to have a pretty hard stop and probably right around 35 minutes probably. So anyways, so let's just get right into it, guys. Let's see. My guy Red says, "Hink, I'm pumping. WTF, bro? Yeah, bro. This is pumping fodder right here, man. This is pumping fuel." And so, my guy Just Cole says, "No short live today." Sorry, man. Like, yeah. Once again, I got some hard stops here, and I'm actually, hey, my guy, your Dinklage Morgoon is in the house too. Um, my guy Blue says, "You're breaking my heart, Hink. I have to study, bro. This will be. There's in all likelihood, I'm probably not going to delete this, and so you're not going to miss anything, bro. We're probably going to have the same debates about what is truly the average size, and what methods work, what's the most that I can gain, all the all these types of questions, and so you can always watch it on the restream, but obviously I'm a huge proponent of studying, so definitely do your thing, man. My guy Jay Nice Fella says, "You got your mask back." So I have my Doom mask here. I really like this mask. I like it a lot. The problem is it's just hard on the inside, and I have not taken the time to put the foam markers in it that'll make it much more comfortable and even to adjust the tension in here. And so part of it is just me being lazy. Well, no, no, lazy is not absolutely not the right word. It's just effective time management, man. So yeah, that's what we're working on now. My g my guy, Mr. Steve says, "Can we, can, let's see." He says, "Can I gain 8 inches in 6 months?" Yeah, conservatively, bro. I mean, honestly, look, and he says, "In girth." Bro, if you're not gaining at least 4 inches in girth in 4 weeks, you are doing something wrong, okay? You're doing something wrong. You need to get back out there, do your do your jelking and, whatever the FLs these people talk about doing your Grace Cacao or whatever it is. So, but yeah, man, my guy Blue says, "Hink, your voice soothes the soul. Till next time." I I appreciate that, man. I don't believe that. I don't know. I don't think I have a particularly grating voice, but I certainly don't think I have a soothing voice. And so, hey, my guy Caleb is in the house too, man. And so, he says live on a Monday. Yeah. So, believe it or not, I actually have some time. I actually just got home from clinic. It was a very long day clock cosplaying as Batman. Geez Louise, man, due to staff shortages, we're having to work longer hours. Um, and so it is actually pretty brutal. And so I just got home and just actually got finished adding some of the stuff to the course. And so I still have it in draft. And so guys that don't know, on my course, I updated it with equipment. So how to get a good vacuum seal if you're vacuum extending or vacuum hanging, how to how to use an extender, how to use a hanger, how to actually use an all-day stretcher with either the waist strap or the leg strap. And so all of that stuff is getting added into the course. And so if you're interested, you want to support your boy by all means, check out the course. Any updates that I do to it, which I do updates regularly, you will always have access to as long as the course is live. And so yeah, and so shouts out to my guys that were the early adopters that got it when it was only $75 because they've had access to every update I've made, and I'm about to add another probably hours worth of content between the discoloration and the sorry, and the equipment stuff that I was just telling you guys about. So let's see here. Yeah. So yeah, man. What do you guys think about the mask? I mean, I know that honestly, this is a cloth mask where this is a fur mask, but this is something that I really think it's cool. I don't know, I like it. I'm gonna switch between it. Maybe this will be like a special occasion, or if I'm particularly kind of pissed off or wanting doom unto others, I'll use the doom mask. But yeah, this is definitely a very odd time. Guys, I'm working on I actually just finished the script, and I probably should be recording the video for doing PE and privacy, because it's something I get asked about quite a bit, is basically how to keep it secret and keep it safe. Um, so that is something that is gonna be coming out. Now, I already have recorded my discoloration video. I know that that's with Callie getting edited, and so that's probably not gonna be this week, guys, but it'll probably be the beginning of next week. Um, so yeah, so just be on the lookout for that. So, yeah. So, let's see. My guy Jess, thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, "Do you think pumping 50 minutes a day is bad? I've been pumping 40 minutes, but with a sleeve from Curveball, not raw. Thinking about going for 50 with the sleeve." So that's interesting because Carl brought up this kind of ideal, this theory about basically prolonged pumping in a essentially more controlled state, and the potential benefits extrapolating from some of like the priapism data. Uh, so the if you are doing that, and because you're using a sleeve, you're not getting especially large amount of edema, um, you're not having any erection quality issues, you're not having any lymphatic issues, then at the end of the day, it's your D, and you have to do what you think is best. When it comes to what I feel comfortable doing, now full disclosure, I have a history of lymphatic issue changes, and I also have some what's it called, lymphocyles that pop up, and so I'm also very risk averse, and so I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. Like, that's not something I recommend, and it's also one of those things that, and it might just because there's not enough data. It might be, who knows what, but it might be one of those things where, um, sorry, where, yeah, who knows? Maybe people start pumping for 50 minutes, and that's the key to them growing, but I just don't think it is. I think at a certain point, you're just drawing in additional, basically interstitial fluid. Now, if you're wearing a sleeve that's going to help limit and prevent that, then you have to. And so this is where I struggle with this, and I don't know enough about physics. But so if you put on a sleeve that is applying pressure, okay, but yet you're applying negative pressure, at some point, some of that has got to balance out for the most part. And so if your goal is to pump at 10 inches of mercury, but you have a sleeve compressing the area and you're at 10 inches of mercury, and let's just say it applies 3 inches of force, 3 inches of mercury's worth of force, okay, then you're really pumping at 50 minutes at like 7 inches of mercury. And so I just don't know. I haven't taken the time to think through it, and even if I could think through it, and I actually talked. So when me and Carl finished our live, I actually talked to him a bit about that, because it's just something I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, guys, but just something about it just inherently doesn't make sense. In some ways, it's kind of like, this is not gonna make sense, but if I was trying to get to 40 miles an hour, and instead of just running at or driving my car at 40 miles an hour, I had my car on the back of a trailer, and the trailer was going 60 miles an hour, but then I was going 20 miles an hour in the opposite direction to get to that 40 miles per hour. That's a terrible, terrible metaphor, but hopefully somebody understands what I'm talking about there, and like, basically why that doesn't necessarily make sense to me. I also think that once again, when we're talking about markers of fibrosis, okay, there is very clear data that pumping for prolonged sets. So I don't know what your set time is doing right now, but if you are pumping for sets more than 10 minutes because you don't get edema, like there are literally markers being sent to your penis and through your body that, okay, hey, inflammation is going to occur. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to develop fibrosis or anything like that, but I do think there are certain risks with that. And I think more is not always the answer. And so, um, but I don't know, man. It's an interesting theory, and so I would just advise you to use caution. And I also think that there's a reason why, with all of the at least rehabilitation data, they don't recommend going for longer periods of time. And I know that they're just risk averse and uh yeah, so I don't know, man. I don't like that. I mean, I don't like that idea. But just similarly, I don't like when people are like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna use a C ring after pumping because that'll help keep me in an extended state," which I've talked ad nauseum about, including videos years ago on how fudging stupid I think that is. But that's just me. And it's to be clear, I think there's a huge difference between wearing a C ring after pumping and pumping for a longer period of time. And so I don't know, man. And I would be a complete hypocrite if I said um, that I'm completely against that just because I have talked about doing a twice a day routine of 20 minutes of pumping. And so that's essentially 40 minutes of pumping a day. And so, like, what would be an additional 10 minutes? Now, when I'm talking about it, it was previously in like a twice a day routine, meaning a split course. And so not all at once. And so I don't know, man. I don't love that, but it's something that if that's what you want to do, then by all means, man. So my guy Just Cold says, I have bad lymph buildup every time I pump as well. I always need to rub it out, and I'm used to it. So yeah, bro. I mean, regardless the amount of when you have that negative pressure in any respect, you are going to cause some sort of physiologic change to the lymphatic channels there. Okay, period. There's no way around it, and so. Yeah, Caleb. Oh god, is Caleb one of those guys that wears this cock ring afterwards? Because I will clown you for that, Caleb, for sure, bro. I will definitely clown you for that. Um, it just, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, as not the sharpest tool in the box, it just there's nothing about it that makes sense from an anatomic perspective. And so, my guy Just Cole says, "Respectably, brother, I think you play it too safe." For sure, bro. Like I have said from the dawn of this channel that I mean, first of all, part of the reason why I developed this channel is because I would see the stuff that these guys are doing to their D, and it would make me cringe to know that they were doing this. And I know that science is based on, people who developed the X-ray. What was her name? Rankin? Rankin irradiated his wife's, like, hand by doing X-rays. That was the first X-ray, and then lo and behold, they both die from, radiation poisoning, essentially. And so, without that data, we wouldn't have like modern X-rays and CT scans in theory. And so I understand that there's certain risks that need to be taken, but I'm not willing to do that with my D. You know what I mean? And then I think more importantly is that if you can still gain without doing that added time, and it's safer, then why do you need to do that? But no, I appreciate you trying to be respectful in that, but I definitely try to play it safe with everything I do. That's why, I even try to develop supplements that help to promote safety and help minimize things like fibrosis and blood flow, because I just want things to be because I want to promote doing things in the safest way possible. And so I would rather do I'm a slow and steady wins the race guy, not like, okay, look, I got 6 months to try to get as much as I can. If that's your case and you're risk averse and your doctor says it's okay because don't listen to me, I'm a clown in a mask, then by all means. And so I would it's just one of those things where I also haven't seen large correlations of people, and maybe just because it's a numbers game, that have said, I pump for an hour every day and I gain significantly. And I think the more you pump as well, and I really think that this does not get stated enough, is that you are drawing fluid into your penis, and the longer you pump, the more fluid, and the longer that fluid is going to stay around. And so I think it can give you this artificial sense that you are getting bigger because your girth is measuring bigger, not necessarily because your tunica has expanded where it is, but just because that there's more, even if it doesn't manifest as like this bloaty bullfrog looking D, like bullfrog neck looking D. It's just something that I don't know. That's just that's how I feel, and that's all I have to say about that. But thank you, just cold, and yeah, bro. I mean, like first of all, you got Kobe in your profile pic, and so mad respect to you for that. But yeah, no, it's all love, man. It's all love. Um, And so my guy Philip says, I would make the channel to be a professional meat gazer. Yeah, for sure, man. And my guy Red said, yeah, early 2020s through 2022, there was a lot of bloody meat and hard flaccid issues. Like, yes, exactly, man. And there's still people that are wild, wild west and injecting all kinds of who knows what into their dicks. And I'm just, I don't know. Maybe for me. So guys, I do a lot of coaching. Okay. Patreon.com/docking. Okay. If you want to be coached by me, you want a phone call, video call, whatever it may be. Um, but through that service, I have coached a lot of guys that have broken their D's during doing PE. And these guys are literally like bawling on the phone to me that they would give anything in the world to have their functioning D back. And it's just really not, it's just not worth it to me. Now, you have to keep in mind, like I started out above average and I've grown significantly since then. And so it's easy for me to be like, "Oh, I don't need to be risk averse to dirt." But if I was on the verge of self-deleting because I had a 4-inch D, like it might be worth those additional risks. And so I'm not gonna judge anybody on their journey on what they wanna do. But yeah, to me, it is about minimizing risk, because I still think there's a lot of kind of wilder things out there. So my guy Satan TV says, caught one of your live streams. Bro, see, that's the point of this very odd time that I've never gone live at before, is that I'm hoping, like you, my friend, that somebody that never got a chance to be on one of these live streams would be able to join. My guy, let's see, Philip, he says a rubber band can stretch a lot more than its normal state. It will stretch out with more use, but it will also break if stretching too long, too fast. Yeah, I think that's a good point. The other no, I don't think that's I want to bring up any other points. I was trying to think about, the like, well, if you look at the mechanoreceptors and the traction therapy, but nah, I don't really have a good thing on that. So, oh my God, Mara says, love the new time, my goat. I appreciate it, man. I'll be honest, this is probably not going to happen again anytime soon, just because kind of the stars aligned. Thank you, Jadinky blessed me for sneezing. Uh, so yeah, yeah, stars align, so we're gonna make the most of it. And to my point about injury, my guy T3, he says, "I had a nerve injury in November. It's getting good now, 3 months after. Take care of your Ds." Guys, I can't, like, I don't know, man, I can't emphasize that enough. And so, yeah, I'm risk averse because I would much rather have a functioning D. I'd rather have a functioning small D than a non-functioning big D, okay? Like, there's this guy from Mexico that put, weights on his D, but basically what he does is if you look at his leg, it looks like he has legitimately a, 13-inch D, okay? Uh, but they actually did an ultrasound, okay? And he basically has, a, like, maybe 6 or 7-inch D with, like, 8 inches of foreskin, okay? And it doesn't work, and it doesn't work. He's also a perv because he's been arrested for trying to expose himself to younger girls, and so, yeah, that's lame sauce. Um, so yeah, just Cold, are you the guy? Because I don't even know how to go about saying that. But my guy Just Coley for the super chat, he says, "Please start your own supplement line, only you as the owner." And so, they're probably I appreciate that, man. I really appreciate your support. I really, really appreciate your support. Uh, my guy, certified non-NPC says, "Hink, are you Latinx?" No, if you heard me speak Spanish, you would know, you would know I am not. I mean, not that you have to be Latino. What happened to being Latino? Like, am I just gonna sound like an old bigot if I use the term Latino? It's like, "Oh, but Latino is the masculine," and or like, what is the actual rules behind Latinx? I don't know. To me, that just sounds weird. But I'm an old crotchety bigot miser, guys. So just ignore me, okay? Um, okay. So my guy certified NPC says, nah, Latinx is just a meme. No one unironically uses it. Okay. All right. That makes me feel a little bit better. I mean, uh there's I don't know, man. Like, guys, I'm not trying to stir up controversy, but there's this do I wanna talk about the whole, like, cisgender thing? No, I'm not gonna but, like, especially with women, there was, like, a group of women that was saying they basically are get upset at the fact that they're being described as, like, cis women, and no, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there. We're just not, man. Uh, my guy uh But, let's see. So my guy, Gume, he says, "Yo, bro, say you only got 40 minutes. You think 20-minute stretch and 20-minute in the pump is good, or what do you think?" So, when it comes to that, that really depends on what you're going for, my friend. And so, if you are, if you are trying to go for length, to me, that doesn't make sense to split your time like that. I would say, you want to have you would wanna prioritize what you want more, and so I think the 2020 split is pretty reasonable, just because I mean, to be honest, I would think that, in my opinion, if we're trying to really get length, you can get length at only 20 minutes, but I would say 30 minutes would be better, and just like pumping, um I would say, pumping, like, could you get results in, like, 15 minutes or 10 minutes? I mean, maybe a little, but I think that kinda 20 minutes, depending on how you tolerate this, um, is, uh is kind of the minimum that you would need to grow. Other people, it depends on how you respond, what pressure you're using, all sorts of factors, and so, can you do that? Yes, you can, but, but yeah, I think you need more time. But if that's what you have to do, I think that's a pretty reasonable routine because the pumping will help you gain length and doing the length work before the pumping. So let me be very clear. I definitely think that you can gain with that routine that you have, 20 and 20. I just would say that that is not optimized, and you also have to keep in mind that 40 minutes, you have to account for time between transitioning between sets and whatnot. And so 40 minutes of actual working time is going to be longer than that. So, so yeah. So my guy, right now, thank you for the super chat, man. If I didn't say it already, thank you, Just Cole, for the super chats as well. So, he says, "Do you feel better or worse after crash outs?" So Oh, there's something that's called essentially like the stress cycle, okay? Meaning that you basically you have the stressor and there has to be some and it has to like run its cycle and go to its conclusion, okay? And so there are certain times where just like screaming well not I'm not really screaming but shouting on here about how stupid someone or something is does make me feel a little bit better because in some ways it's that like it's like getting that out of my system. And other times, I get too worked up because I'm sleep deprived or whatever, and I was like, I went pretty hard on that, and I really didn't need to do that. And so, and other times, I might have crashed out and it was about something that I was wrong about. And then then I certainly feel bad about that. And so, um, is there a particular crash out that was especially satisfying? Not really, because crash outs are typically, for me at least, the way I'm defining it is kind of it's really an anger response, and I don't think that there is anything, like, honorable or bold or worth celebrating about a man demonstrating his anger. I don't think that's the case, and I don't wanna be angry, and certain situations, certain people just put me in this state for a while where I was just angry all the time and just frustrated all the time because of the situation I was in. And so in general, I'm in a better place now in general-ish, but there's always gonna be frustrations. And so yeah, man. So I can't say that, yeah, one was especially satisfying. And he said, "Can rage improve EQ?" Um, I don't know, man. If you are, like, there's a term like hate effing your partner, and sometimes just that very, even though, I don't like that term, but just that excessive emotion, is passion, guys, and having passionate, times can actually help potentially with EQ depending on how you process it. So, when he says, "Let it flow, Hink," um, no, I know, and I also don't think there's, regardless of how right somebody is, like, trying to intentionally make somebody look bad or talking crap about a competitor or something like that, I just don't think that's a good look for anybody. I just don't, even if I'm right. So I appreciate that, man, but, um yeah, I really do feel like I've been better about that, and, I'm hoping, especially moving forward into the future, that, with things being different, that I won't and blocking certain people, that I won't feel the need to have crash outs, anymore. So, but they're still gonna happen because I mean, shit, I crash out with something I saw on the news, man. Um so speaking of, man, goodness gracious, could you imagine being on in let's say you have like 3 kids, okay, and you take your kids to Cancun for an early spring break or something. Could you imagine being in Mexico right now with all that going on, man? That is insane. That is insane. So anyways, I was just thinking about things on the news that would make me crash out, but goodness gracious. My guy Fernando, appreciate you, bro. He says, "Caught the professional meat gazer live." Yes, sir, man. He says, "You're the PE goat in my book." I really appreciate that, man. I would absolutely never call myself that, refer to myself that, or anything like that. And I think there's a lot of guys out here with good advice and giving good, and doing good things in the community. And so I like to think I'm one of the good guys. I guess that's what I say. But he says, "You've got the research experience and the evidence. Appreciate you immensely, Doc." Thank you so much, bro. Um, so just so you guys know, this is actually my burner. I sent myself a super chat while you weren't paying attention. Just to glaze myself. So yeah, that's get off my Dickerson, my version of that. No, but Fernando, appreciate it, man, very, very much. Being here, taking the time to even send that message is just tremendously kind, man. And I really appreciate that. And so my guy Caleb says, "That's why I meditate, boxing, workouts, and therapy." Bro, like, of all the things that you have said, I mean, and you've said some good things. I had you on the live stream. That is probably the best thing, and I wish more guys would understand that. But, like, for the most part, as men, as cis men, we are taught that, keep your feelings inside. The only emotion you can express is anger. But guys, I mean, even a stress relief, like, that cycle is going to the gym and hitting a hanging bag as hard as you can, or, pushing your weights and really just, like, letting out that stress and that tension. It really does go a long way. But certainly things like, physical exercise, guys, and, meditation, mindfulness, can really go a long way to bringing you peace. I am not there yet. I have a long way to go, and especially with, especially with, the way I process anger and resentment towards others. I don't forgive and I don't really forget. And I harbor a lot of animosity to, even people that I used to play basketball with when I was like 14 years old that did me wrong or whatnot. So, anyways, man, that's great advice, Caleb. So, my guy, oh man, Mr. X is also live. I never want to. I like dude, and I'll text him after this. I would never try to like poach watchers. And I'm gonna be actually signing off very soon. So hopefully, you guys should join his live and tell him Hank sent you, okay, in the comments. Um, but man, so my guy Red Maroon says people love drama. When I was talking about that, and you're exactly right. People do love drama, and I could make some spicier videos, but at the end of the day, like peace of mind is worth more to me, and that's what I've learned over these past 4 to 5 months. Peace of mind is worth more than almost anything that I can think of right now. And so I don't want to do the whole like drama thing just because I would get more views. Now, talking crap about an adult star lying about their size, to me, that's not really drama. But talking about actually like intrapersonal drama within the community, like, I don't wanna do that, and that's why when I do talk about certain even people in the community, I try to never say, like, "This user is doing this, and this is effed up." I try to use very generic terms, and in general, there's usually multiple people doing the effed up activity. It's not just one person, so, um, my guy AG, thank you for the super chat. He says, Hinkathol. Flaccid length and girth about 2x bigger from cardio. Not fat pad plated related, just better blood flow. Bro, that is fantastic, and so, 2x bigger from cardio. So, as your cardiovascular system improves, you can get blood more efficiently to where it needs to go, like your penis, and so you can have better consistent blood flow. Better consistent blood flow will lead to better hang in both, flaccid length and girth, so that's fantastic. The one thing that I would just make sure people are aware is that, especially before I did PE, and even sometimes now when I go super duper hard, is that when you are going hard doing cardio, your blood is likely going to be diverted away from your member and to things like your muscles, especially like your leg muscles if you're cycling or running or doing something like that. And that can make you have a tiny little PP, at least in my case, after an intense cardio session. And so I don't want to speak for you, AG, but I feel like when he's talking about 2x bigger, it's kind of like at baseline, not necessarily when he is actively doing that. So my guy Dinklage says Hink is the PE goat, no contest. I'm obviously a Hink laser though. It's all good, bro. Uh, there is a scene on you guys should not watch this movie because it's kinda depressing, but I've talked about it before. It's called, Magazine Dreams. It's got Jonathan Majors in it. I love that movie. If you guys like the movie, The Joker with, Joaquin Phoenix, however you say his name, then you would like Magazine Dreams. But it's this guy that, yeah, I don't wanna spoil it for you guys, but I love it just because I resonate a lot with it because in both, like things it will seemingly go really good, and then out of nowhere, it'll just end horrifically. And then he'll be in like a horrific situation, and out of nowhere, like something really, really good will happen. And that has been my life for like certainly the past year, if not more, is that just rapid swing, like, oh man, this good thing happened. That's great. And then like horrific outcome as a result. But in one of the scenes, he meets one of his heroes, and the guy's like, so, so you're my biggest fan, huh? And, I won't spoil it for you, but yeah. So, all right, Dink. So, you're my biggest fan, huh? Why don't you come show me, bro? Uh, so, man, Oh, my guy, Mr. ECZ says, "At Hink, it's all good. I'm done right as you started." All right, good, man. Because I definitely didn't want to encroach on that. Um, for those of guys want some differing opinions from a good dude, especially regarding the PE scene, and he's a bit heavier in the equipment. My guy, Mr. X, it's like MRECZ, and I always call him Mr. ECZ, but I but it goes by Mr. X. So if you guys haven't checked him out, certainly subscribe to his channel. He's a good dude, man, and yeah, and hilarious. I gotta get him on the live again. I told you we would get back up, Mr. X, and so I'll text you and we'll work it out. It's just shit has been crazy, man. But anyways, Deke said Mr. X, the tortoise slayer. Exactly, bro. Oh my gosh. That still cracks me up, the tortoise slayer. My guy just called again. I said, I appreciate that super chat. Again, man, you are blowing racks on me, bro. He says, I don't want PE to get bigger. I don't care, need less competition. Um, woof. And he says, also, can you do a poll if dudes would rather be called baby or daddy when effing? Um, yeah, I can. Let's see. Start a poll. Let's see. During sexy time, would you rather be called daddy or baby? So for me personally, to answer that poll question, my guy Doc72 says she calls me master. That's hilarious. I mean, it's I don't know, not like that she calls you that, but he put the little devil emoji thing. I don't know, man. The whole like daddy thing, I agree with you 100%. That's weird to me. I don't think you should invoke like anything parental when it comes to intercourse. I mean, like but I don't wanna be a hypocrite because if I was clapping cheeks and some girl was like, "I poppy," like, I would probably blow right there, and so 'cause but I don't know if that's different because technically that would still translate to, like, daddy or whatever, but no, like, the whole daddy thing, I don't know, that's weird, like, no, I am not your daddy, and, like, I don't know, man, and, um, I don't know, what's the inverse of that, man? 'Cause, there's certain things I would never call a female partner, and, like, could you yeah, I mean, like, mommy with a M-A-M-I, I don't know, that's different to me, and maybe just because I have a thing for Latino chicks, but yeah, no, 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 that's weird, that's weird. I think baby, but, look, I'm not gonna yuck anybody's yum. I'm just saying it's weird to me, okay? A lot of girls like that, a lot of guys like that, no problem at all. But, PE getting bigger, man. It's kinda like, is it gonna go mainstream? I hear that all the time. Like, "Oh, it's going mainstream, it's going mainstream." I think it's still very much fringe. More people know about it, but it's kind of like I think that this is the perfect metaphor. Obesity rates are only increasing, okay? There is some recent data, especially with all the GLPs and Ozempics and semaglutide, blah, 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 that obesity rates are maybe stabilizing, maybe even slightly decreasing. But the point is that we have an explosion of the fitness industry. We have explosion of research and data showing the most efficient way to burn calories, how to burn calories, these HIIT, keto, like all of these different diets, but yet obesity is still increasing. And so no matter how many videos I put out saying you can make your D bigger by doing this, there's still not gonna be guys that are gonna be consistent enough to do it, and some guys will be motivated, to do it, but, I just think in general, that's not, it's not gonna happen, and my stance on this is that, like, I understand that, but, like, the I know I sound kind of maybe crazy, but, like, PE changed my life, like, it changed my life. My level of in general, peace and happiness outside of kind of the bullshit of the community, but just, like, having a bigger meat has exponentially improved my quality of life because I'm not worried about my D all the time. And I want that for any man that has that intense insecurity. And even if it's just watching my videos and I'm like, yeah, this adult star says he's 12 inches. He's more like 8.2 inches. Okay. It's kind of the same thing, but I want more guys to have peace with where they are and not be worried about that and not, um, Yeah, and if that means more guys are exposed to PE, from my perspective, so be it. Okay. But I certainly understand that. I certainly understand that. But I also think you need to understand that most guys don't know about PE. Okay. And even if you think let's say there's 4 billion men on this earth, and let's just say of the 4 billion men, 2 billion of are actually in an age range where it makes sense to do PE. Uh, there's, what, 100,000 people on the biggest PE site getting bigger? I mean, and so it's still very, very infinitesimally small. And so yeah, man. And the poll right now is split like 50-50. I'm definitely not judging. Uh, Caleb says, "Call me Poppy." Oh my gosh. So my guy Fernando, he says uh oh gosh, sorry, man. I was about to. I love you, bro, but I thought you were saying for length is 8.5 inches good, and I was about to crash out. I was about to crash out. uh, but he says for length is 8.5 pounds a good weight. I think you need to find, in my opinion, the least amount of weight that you need to get the result you want. If your stretch flaccid is growing and you're only using 3 pounds of tension, then use 3 pounds of tension. There's no need to increase it. In my opinion, only thing um, only injury you're only increasing your risk of injury if you're growing at a lower stimulus. And I also think that there's some hypothetical improvements like um, I think you could, in theory, grow for longer because of the way the mechanoreceptors response. With more tension, more lysyl oxidase is secreted. Okay. The data, in my opinion, is very clear on that. And so the least tension that you can use that you'll still grow would mean the less lysyl oxidase secretion. And in some cases, there have been guys that used to like hang at 20 pounds and then they cut it back to 7 pounds and then all of a sudden they started growing again. So yeah. My guy Red said anything family related makes me ill. Yeah, bro, like that's just weird. Like I definitely would not want a girl to call me daddy. But once again, that's I'm not trying to yuck anybody's dumb. That is such a what's it called? Now I'm blanking on the Greek tragedy, Oedipus. To me, that's a very Oedipusonian complex. If you guys don't know the story of Oedipus Rex, he's there's a stutter, guys. But it is a guy that basically was told that his fate was to marry his mother and kill his father, or have sex with his mother and kill his father. And he goes through like everything to try to prevent it happening, and it happens at the end. And so I don't know, man. That's just weird to me. No problem, man. No problem. And once again, I'm not judging anybody, but somebody to me, like a girl who called me daddy, it seems to me like they have daddy issues and like abandonment issues. And I'm sure the segs is incredible. But yeah, that's not for me, man. So yeah, it's but what whatever, guys. I'm not judging. Red might be judging, but I'm not, man. So, all right, guys, we are at that witching hour right here. Um, and it's still like 50-50 split with just slight preference on baby. So sorry, Fernando. Yes, 8.5 I think is a good weight. I think that's well within the range where I don't think you're getting too much weight. That's just my opinion, guys. I don't use an extender or tension or hanging weights. And so yeah, man. Uh my guy Ethan is in the house. What's up, bro? So yeah, guys, that is what the heck? So that's gonna do it for me. Mi amigos, mejor. I'll catch you on the next one, guys. I think I got all the super chats, man. Hopefully you guys appreciate the new time. Once again, guys, the course is being in the process of being updated. I've already uploaded 6 videos. They're in the draft mode right now. Okay. In addition to have everything as far as how to start, what anatomy to look at, pre-care, post-care, pumping pressures, extending tensions, extending times, set times, how to prevent injuries. In addition to all that, in addition to the water pump session with basically bathmate, now there's an equipment session including setup, how to get a good seal with a vacuum cap, and then hopefully by this weekend, if not by next weekend, there's going to be a discoloration course. And when that happens, guys, the price is going up. So if you're interested, check it out. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Hit that like button before you bounce, and I will catch you on the next one, guys. All right, peace and love.